opinions of any callers, guests, or the host of the SMF Voice are not to be taken as factual information. The SMF Voice urges all participants of the show to research and fact-find on their own in order to draw their own conclusions about any topic talked about pertaining to any and all content presented in the broadcast chat or any other form of participation on the SMF Voice. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Stowe Monroe Falls Voice. In this episode, I have two guests that I'm very excited to have interviewed. In the first part, Mrs. Kiki Fuchser, a woman, a mother, what she calls her mama bear, that she is a mama bear, who is from Tallmadge, but has created some content lately over the last few months that have pretty much gone viral. And the reason that it's gone viral is because the topic matter is a little disturbing, but she also has some national views that she did an incredible job explaining, and just a wonderful person in and out. We had a great interview, a great conversation. That's coming up in part one. In part two, I actually have my son Damien, who will be joining us. We sat down to do a little equipment testing and just started talking about this, that, and the other thing. Started talking a little bit about politics, what he's doing as a 21-year-old now. We recently voted. Just a good conversation with him. Pretty short, but he got out some pretty good ideas, and he hit on some points that I think everybody should listen to. So coming up, Mrs. Kiki Fuchser, my son Damien. To get a hold of the show, you can find us on Facebook at SMF Voice. You can find us on Spotify at SMF Voice. Obviously on YouTube, SMF Voice, and to email me if you have any questions, concerns, guest ideas, or if you want to be a guest yourself, look for me at smfvoice@twc.com. Other than that, straight ahead, here's the interviews. Hope you enjoy them. Let's get this thing rolling. Joining me on the show today is somebody I'm very excited to have on. This is a woman who was introduced to me about a month ago by a friend of ours that is mutual. And it was a video. He shared a link with me, and the video was, I would say, shocking. I've been involved with the schools for some time myself, and I've seen some shocking stuff. But the video that she put together and the way that she presents all of her videos, which are incredible, I just can't say enough about. And to get an education of what's actually going on in not only our school district, but a lot of issues in our country. She's just a fantastic person to go and watch these videos. I would like to introduce to the show Mrs. Kiki Fuchser. How are you? And thank you for coming on.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much, Matthew. It's so nice to be able to speak with you about everything that's going on, and just for people to actually want to listen to what I have to say. Like, I love it. After I did that video that you're talking about that ended up going viral. I mean, I had so many moms reaching out, just saying, like, thank you so much for doing what you're doing. Thank you so much for not being afraid and being brave and standing up for what we believe in. But like, they're able to kind of have a voice through me. So I love it. Thank you so much for having me.
I think it's more than just moms. I think a lot of dads really appreciate what you do too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
So you've done quite a few videos, and some of them, I think it's fair to say, have gone darn near viral. But there's still a lot of people who don't know who Kiki Fuchser is. Can you explain to the boys and girls at home who Kiki Fuchser is?
Absolutely. So I'm just a mama bear. That's what I always say. I have two kiddos. One of them is in the Tallmadge School District. Another one is in California with her dad now. She just moved there recently. So I got involved. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have not been as involved in my kids' school as I should be, because I'm kind of like, I go with the flow, like, okay, the school's got it. They got everything taken care of. Now, I pay attention. I'm not saying I'm just not paying attention whatsoever, but I was just blown away when I seen what they had in the schools. Okay, so anyway, sorry. Let me just go back to who I am, Kiki. Yep. I'm ready to get into the meat and potatoes of it.
And we will.
So, Mama Bear, I am a proud veteran. You can see my United States Marine Corps flag. Joined the military right out of high school, served for 5 years. literally made me into the person I am today. I think joining the military made me more of like an America first person. So I am 1,000% American first. I am a proud conservative. And I always tell everybody that I didn't used to be a conservative. I was a Democrat. I voted for Barack Obama twice. But I've learned and grown since then. And now I am a proud conservative Christian woman. I've only been doing content I started in October doing just cooking. Because I went to culinary school, so I love cooking. I started in October doing cooking, and I was like, I kind of want to try something else out. Let me get politics. Like I'm always watching politics, always paying attention to what's going on. So I was like, let me switch it up a little bit and just see how it goes. And in March of this year, it just exploded. Like my account took off. I think I doubled it after maybe like a month of posting just politics. I guess people are they really like hearing what I have to say. So that was really exciting. And then I've just been posting ever since. I'm on every single platform you can think of. I'm on Rumble, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Kiki Fuchser. You can find me on all the platforms. And I've been loving being involved in the community, and then being able to do podcasts like this it's an honor, like I said, to have people to actually want to hear what I have to say and actually resonate with it as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd say that one of the reasons that things take off with you, with your videos and everything else you've been doing, is because you do such a great job at it. You really take your time to fact find, to look for all the information, even bringing in evidence and presenting that in the video too. You just do a wonderful job, and you're rapid fire, man. You're rapid fire with the truth. And I think, with Americans today, they have such a short attention span that rapid fire with facts and boom, get it out is incredible. And by the way, thank you very much for your service too.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
So as I said, when I mentioned that the first video I saw dealt with your daughter, who is in 5th grade, I believe.
Yes.
She was going through some issues with the Tallmadge School District because of a program I had never heard of before I watched your video. And it was disturbing when I watched it. Can you expand on that a little bit and let the people know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. So it's funny you say that you didn't know about the Amaze videos. Now, while the principal, the superintendent, and the health teacher, they knew about it, they didn't know the videos that I posted was on there. So they were just as lost, which I found to be, I was like, that's a little bit disheartening. You guys are the gatekeepers. You would think that they could look through the Amaze website and find these videos. It took me 10 to 15 minutes maybe of just looking really quick just to kind of see and to kind of understand how I found out about it. So they sent home a permission slip for my daughter to attend health class. They call it health class. I call it sex ed still. I don't know why they've changed it. I feel as if they've changed it so parents maybe aren't paying attention as much. But it used to be sex ed. Now it's called health class. So they sent home a permission slip saying, would you like your daughter to attend health class? And they said, here is the syllabus. They gave you a link to the syllabus. And I was like, okay, well, let me just check it out. Because I'm a little bit aware of what's going on in the world with just them over-sexualizing our children. So I was like, let me just look into this before I sign the permission slip. So I went into the syllabus, and then on the syllabus, it says we will be using amaze.org and amazejunior.org. And I was like, okay, so let me go check and see what is on this website. Like you have to do your due diligence. They're not going to just hand it to you on a silver platter. Right. So I went to the Amaze website, and I instantly, like I said, I was looking at the videos. It took me maybe 10 minutes. But the thing is, some of them, they hide the stuff in like segments of the video. That's the thing that you like have to pay attention to. One of the videos, the part where they tell the little 5-year-old boy to touch his erection, it's a 2.5 minute video. That part is not until 2 minutes and probably like 15 seconds in. So if you just watch the beginning, all it is talking about, it's not good to show your privates in public, things that you can agree with, but then they have to throw in this little segment right here that they're probably expecting parents not to watch the entire video. So I was watching the entire video just to be sure. And that's, you'll find it in little segments like that. So I immediately went and showed my husband all the videos, and he was just the exact same way as you, like, how disgusting. Why do they need to teach our children these things in so far in depth too? Like the graphics and just encouraging the over-sexualization of the children. And we both were on board and kind of just kept looking. There's over 400 videos on there. I haven't had a chance to even look at all of them. So that's just, like I said, a quick 10 to 15 minute look at the Amaze website.
Yeah, they almost seem to make that presentation look like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yes.
Like it's all nice and polite, and you're waiting for Schoolhouse Rock to come up.
Seriously.
Yeah. So you noticed this and you brought it up, you made a video about it, and I noticed that there was some interest by local media. I believe, don't quote me on this, I think it was WKYC, Channel 3 out of Cleveland, who covered it. And when I say they covered it to the point where they only contacted the school district and didn't go after the other party for your story.
Yeah, I was so mad. So somebody sent it. Okay, so I think the way I found out is, so somebody posted my video in a Facebook group that's like a local Facebook group, and I went on there and I was looking at the comments, and somebody put that video of the I think it was, like you said, WKYC Cleveland. They put that video in there where it's a company called Verify, and they were like, we verified that they aren't showing this video to fifth graders. And then we verified that the syllabus did show that the what videos from Amaze Junior and Amaze was going to be shown. And I was like, no, you guys are lying. That's the mainstream media. Like, that made me so mad. I'm like, that is not factual. So what actually happened is, yes, they aren't showing the video that I posted to fifth graders. However, the syllabus was not clear of this, because I went, like I said, the syllabus before had Amaze. I went to the school. I recorded the entire conversation. I had a conversation with the principal, the superintendent, and the curriculum advisor.
Okay.
And I recorded the entire conversation secretly. And I asked them to update, 1, the permission slip, and 2, the syllabus, because the syllabus wasn't clear on exactly what videos they were going to be showing. So when the Verify company got it, the syllabus was already updated because of my encounter with the school. But they kind of I feel like the Verify people did like the half truth. So that way people are like, oh, okay, so yeah, she's crazy. Don't listen to her. She lied. And then they want to make people like not believe me. Oh, it makes me so mad that they can just do that and try to come against us like that.
Yeah. And that's what they do. It's, what's funny is here you are, you went to the actual website. Okay. And whether they were actually presenting these videos to the children in their district isn't the point. They actually went to a program that did indeed have this type of lesson included. And why a school district would go after a program like that that's so, what I say is morally corrupt and I think illegal. I mean, that's like introducing children to porn. Now we're kind of moving into this area, and it's not like this hasn't been happening. I've heard of stories like this all the time, just not that out in the open. And what this does is it literally exposes our children to sex, which they don't need to be paying attention to. No kid needs to be taught how to masturbate. That's a natural thing, I guess. I mean, in the animal kingdom, chimpanzees masturbate. Dogs hump your leg because they don't have hands, right? So in the animal kingdom, they know how to do this. So do kids. I was once a kid, okay? Right. I'm not the most morally, but things happen. Kids can figure that out on their own, or they can go to their own parents if they have those questions. And so really, when you look at everything that you've talked about when it comes to your kids, then you start looking at the problems that we are having when it comes to child trafficking, when it comes to all of these things. It actually makes these criminals who traffic kids, it makes it easier for them to prey on them, because now these kids are introduced to sex and they have nothing but internet access. And they put themselves out there with all this information because they think it's okay. It came from their schools. Why not?
Yep, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more.
So you also, other than all of this, your videos, I can't tell you how great your videos are. But besides that, everybody go to Kiki Fuchser, find her on Facebook, name all the other places you're at again. And it's just Kiki Fuchser that they're looking at, right? Kiki
Fuchser, yes. I'm on, Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok, and I post a little bit on Rumble. I'm trying to get better on Rumble because I do want to use the platforms that are like for free speech. So I'm trying to get better at posting on Rumble more often.
So am I. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the speller name, by the way, is KIKIFUCHSER. correct?
Correct. Yep.
So look for that name and find her videos. They're just great. Other than all of this, that you're trying to protect your own kid and other children.
Yes.
You belong to an organization called Moms for Liberty.
Yep.
In this, at least in my area here, there is a lot of misinformation about Moms for Liberty. They're looked down upon by, well, let's face it, the leftists in my community here in Stowe Monroe Falls, which is just up the road from you. And they're bad-mouthed a lot. And I don't know why, because these are people, they're watchdogs for the protection of not only our kids' physical health, but of their mental health. And I don't understand how people can be against that. Can you explain a little bit what Moms for Liberty does?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been a part of Moms for Liberty since, I want to say, July of this year. So I'm new to the program, to the group, but I love it. So we are in Summit County is our group. We're called Moms for Liberty Summit County. You can find us on Facebook. We have a group. So we have monthly meetings. Our next one is next Wednesday, at 7:00. I have it posted on my page as well. You have to email the group and then you can get an invite to attend the meeting. But we just, like you said, there is a big misconception around it. So I go live on TikTok and I host people and I have them come up and we talk about just everything going on in the world. And one of the topics I had was the over-sexualization of children after my video went viral. And I have people come up that are on the left and just speak to me. So there's a lady that came up and she was like, you're so worried about sex in schools and I don't understand. You're like one of those moms of liberty. Or she was like, just like, what did she say? I can't remember exactly how she said it. She was like, you just like the moms of liberty that are out here trying to ban books. That's what she said. And I'm like, okay, first of all, Moms of Liberty is not trying to ban books. First, we are trying to make sure there's no over sexual books in K through 12. That's what they were doing. And I don't understand why this would be it should be a equal partisan. Everybody should be on the same page to say that children don't need over sexualized books in their schools. So that's one thing that Moms for Liberty is known as being bad, I guess you could say, but they just don't want them in the schools. We're not trying to come after the public library. If you want to have it in the public library, that's a different story. It was just in the school. So I had to explain that to her. And she's like, oh, well, I just read a headline that said, and I'm like, yeah, well, that's probably the problem. You got to read the entire article. So Moms of Liberty is not trying to just get rid of books, but we are, like you said, the watchdogs. We meet once a month, and then we are just trying to get out in the community and just spread awareness to have as many watchdogs in the area as possible. Just whenever you see something, we go on Facebook and let everybody know, like my video, we posted in the Facebook group to let everybody know this is what's going on in Tallmadge. The more women and the more, not just women, the more people we have out there paying attention to the school and the education, the better. So we do have right now, it's probably it's a smaller group in Summit County. So we are looking to get more people to join. Just concerned mama bears that's worried about the sex ed and the books is the main thing. And then she comes this week, we're going to be talking about elections, the school board elections. So every month is kind of a different topic. So this next week, I'm super excited. We're going to just be talking about every area, what school board seats are going to be coming up, how to get involved, how to run for school board, just everything that goes along with school board. And I am running for school board, so I'm super excited about this cool. meeting.
Awesome. Congratulations on that.
Thank
I wish you not. Let me know what I can do to help you out.
I appreciate that.
It's funny that you bring up the banning books and all of this misinformation that comes up. I believe it was the left who banned Huckleberry Finn in schools. And they're pretty good at banning things themselves, but banning books, and really it's just banning information is what they're trying to say. You're trying to ban information. Well, would they allow a Penthouse or a Playboy to be stocked in school libraries? Exactly. Which really the way that we explained or that you explained of Maze seems like that's right around the corner. Mm-hmm. They seem to always grab on to this whole, the monstrous part of what's going on without actually thinking about it. And as you said, it's not book banning. It's saying that this is not appropriate material for our children. And I think Moms for Liberty, that's one of the things that they're really trying to put out there. Again, how is that bad? I don't understand it.
Yeah, exact same thing. I mean, I think it's just some people say, well, I've heard people say with the over-sexualization of children, well, how are they going to learn? I
Right.
say I understand teaching the birds and the bees, but not in-depth conversations about what whole and all these other things that they're trying to present. You've seen the videos of people reading, just literally reading the book at the school board meeting of what's in the library, and it's talking about how to have sex with a man on man, and woman on woman, and just too much. They're going way too far.
Agreed. And they go way too far in a lot of areas. I haven't really been involved in the Tallmadge School District as much. I don't talk, not on purpose, but I haven't talked to a lot of people from that area. I can tell you in Stowe Monroe Falls, they've really been hitting the race issue hard. There's a lot of division. They've introduced DEI. We now have coming up this Monday, as a matter of fact, we're going to have a school board meeting where they're creating a new position. And I should have looked this up before I got on the air with you. But it's a new position. Basically, it's like, it's not this, but it's like the chancellor of the rights of students or something like that, right? And it's all a DEI thing, just more division. There's a lot of race baiting going on where none of it, at least when I was in school in the 80s and 90s, we had an influx of Black families that moved into our community. And the kids that actually went to school really didn't have a race problem. We did obviously have some racism, but I still have friends, and I know the left hates it when I say this, but I still have friends that I had 30 years ago, and they're good friends. That's the path that we were on. They don't seem to like that for some reason, and they're trying to introduce all this division. What do you see in Tallmadge?
Yeah, so I'm not aware of any DEI going on in Tallmadge necessarily, but I did hear from Mike what you're talking about, because he's in the Stowe area. Mike's the school board in Stowe. I heard the same thing from him. I need to look into it further here to see if we have a DEI coordinator or whatever it is, something to look into for sure on my end. But I agree with you. We should be judged on our character, not on the color of our skin. We don't get to pick that. We don't get to pick how we're born. So it just blows my mind that they're trying to push that down our throats now, and just DEI is everywhere. I mean, not just in the schools, but even in our jobs nowadays. So I don't agree with the DEI agenda whatsoever. I need to look into it further in Tallmadge to see if we have something similar.
Well, I don't know if Mike actually mentioned this to you. I'm sure he did, and I'm sure Moms of Liberty knows of the situation. We had a incident out here where they started using the children as tools to push their DEI initiative. And one of the things they did is we had an issue at a football game. It's like 80 degrees outside at night. And, these two girls, I think they were in middle school. I'm pretty sure maybe 8th grade. They went to a football game and put on the makeup under the eyes. And through the night, it's hot. They're wiping their face, and some of it spread, and they were accused of going in blackface. They were suspended. This was, I want to say, a year and a half ago, something like that. They were suspended. They were ridiculed. They had to take special classes in order to get back on the extracurricular activities they used to be a part of. And up until at least last week, I know of at least one of the girls are still getting bullied by students for that incident. And this is a board of adults doing this. And, in Tallmadge, and I'll warn the people in Tallmadge, man, it's a battle that I would say that it causes stress on the adults, but what it does to the kids is devastating.
Yeah, they're just kids. That's so disheartening. Yeah, Mike he told me a little bit about that story, and it's so sad. Like, I don't understand why we need to involve kids in the politics in that regard. And then another thing, they're kids. Like you said, they're just kids. And I don't feel as if they did that on purpose. Like you said, it was hot outside. They're kids, like kids be kids. But I think that with the division, it's more of like a distraction. That's what they want us to be. They want us to be distracted, not paying attention to what they're doing, and then the division, so that way they have something that we're always fighting about, and they can say, oh, look over here, you guys worry about so much race in America, and we are going to be over here doing our own thing. And I think we have to see through that and just come back together. Like you said, in the 80s and 90s, well, I was born in the not 89, but the 90s and early 2000s, I don't feel like there was so much division as far as race. We were on a really good track to come together and unify us, but we need to get back to that.
We do. And I mean, that's my point is when I see, if I say something like that, I'll be attacked as saying, oh, you think racism's over? No, of course I don't. Yeah, I know that you mentioned in one of your videos that you have a biracial daughter. I also have a biracial daughter, and all of my kids are Hispanic.
Yeah.
So, for me to say something like that, where I say things were getting better, they're not there, but we were on a track where we were actually educating and not throwing in all of this gaslighting in order to cause these issues. And we see gaslighting now all the time. And I think, people like you and what you do in the videos, and I'm not kidding. Again, I'm going to say it, rapid fire information. You're perfect for that voice to say enough is enough. Let's do things right.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I love hearing it. It's awesome. It's an honor.
Well, you do a much better job than I do. So, we have this election coming up. And I saw, and I'm going to get off a little, local things. And the reason I wanted to have you on is because you were so close, and we do share a lot of issues in our districts respectively. And it's not just here. It's obviously, Cuyahoga Falls, Hudson, Akron schools, Cincinnati, then go out of the state. It's everywhere. Our public school districts are just kind of falling apart. On the national scene, what we see on the national scene, do you think that contributes to a lot of what's happening?
Oh, yeah, 1,000%, especially with freaking Title IX right now that we're dealing with because of the federal government trying to change the way that we see Title IX, men and women's sports, the transition of the children. I think that's a social contagion. You can see based on the charts. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Bill Burr did a chart, and he did a funny joke with it. He said, based on the statistics now, we'll all be gay by 2050 because it's such a social contagion. But I agree with you. I agree with you that the national stage or on a federal level, it is affecting the way that states are ran. I mean, same with abortions. I'm glad that's been brought down to a state level now. I agree with that 1,000%. I don't agree with the way it went in Ohio, but I do think that it should have been brought to a state level. And I think schools need to be brought to a state level too. I think we need to demolish the Department of Education and just let the states run their schools the way that they want to run it. I think that should be the next thing that Trump is going to take care of.
I certainly hope so, because it's been brought up on this program before. Not a lot of people understand it the way it should be in this country is the more local you come, the more powerful you are.
Yes.
And we've kind of lost that because that's how the voice of the people actually get out there. It's hard to do on a national stage.
Yeah.
But if you're sitting out there doing what you do and what I'm trying to do, you tend to be able to have, I think, a more honest conversation because your conversation doesn't get lost in all of the national crap, for lack of a better word, is. And so I think that's wonderful. How do you see this election going? I'm just going to ask you, what do you see coming up here as far as, everything? What would you like to see?
I mean, what I would like to see is Trump win by a landslide. I canvass the area right now for Susan B. Anthony, Pro-Life America. So I'm going and knocking on doors. I was actually doing that. I actually do that usually during my lunch. So I was
which
going,
I'm taking up right now.
What's that?
I said of which I'm taking up right now.
Yes. Not a problem at all. I'm going to go after work. So I've been busy during this election season. So I go and I knock on doors. You have your phone. It has a script on it. So I'm kind of getting an idea of at least the Tallmadge area of how people are planning to vote. It doesn't necessarily say, are you voting for Trump? Are you voting for Kamala? But it'll say something along the lines of, because we're pro-life, it'll say something along the lines of, Kamala wants to have abortions up until birth. Kamala is a radical leftist on abortions. Hearing this information, are you more likely or less likely to vote for Kamala? That's kind of how the question goes. And I've gotten a big mixture. I'm surprised in the Tallmadge area, a pretty, I would say 50-50 mix of people saying that they're Trump and Kamala. So that kind of worries me a little bit. But I am a strong Christian woman, so I am praying that Trump wins this election. I honestly believe that he was spared from all the assassination attempts because of his calling. I think he has a calling on his life right now, and God is sparing his life because he knows the direction that this country is going. So I pray that he wins. If he does not, my trust and hope is not in the government. I think we need to get away from trying to look to the government to see how they're going to help us, how they're going to benefit us better. And we need to focus on just Americans coming together. Personal opinion. So win or lose, my hope is in Jesus, but I am praying that Trump wins.
I'm there with you. I'm on bended knee, absolutely praying for the same. Yes. Kiki, is there anything else that you would like to mention that you haven't yet? Or
yeah, just parents, just to the education point, this is like near and dear to my heart, just because having two children, just don't be afraid to get involved. Don't be afraid to ask for curriculum. You are entitled to the curriculum, whether it's health class, history, English, reading. You are entitled to know everything that your child is learning. This is all stuff that I've learned just in my new encounter of like having my eyes kind of awakened and open to everything that's going on. You are entitled to that. Don't be afraid to use your voice. If you don't agree with something, go to the school board meetings and talk to them about it. They have to listen to you. That's what they're there for. I plan on going to my school board next month. I haven't had a chance to yet. Next month to talk about the issues that I'm facing or how I feel about the Amaze program. So don't be afraid to use your voice, and do not forget to vote early if we can, because it is a very crucial election. So the left always votes early. Trump is trying to encourage everybody to vote early as well.
Well said. The only thing I would add to that is for people that feel alone out there, if they don't like seeing what's going on in their community, or if something is, God forbid, happened with their child when it came to the schools, there are people in every district it's a group of people, and all you got to do is search for them and find them, because not only is there, I don't want to say safety in numbers, but there is a thing to say about a group of people around you. I was lucky enough 15 years ago to find a group here in Stone Monroe Falls when my kids were going to school here, where they were trying to introduce a program called International Baccalaureate. An International Baccalaureate, let's just put it this way, it's a global system run by the United Nations, and some really good people attended International Baccalaureate schools like Kim Jong-un. Okay. So once I figured out, I heard about it and I questioned it, and then I did find a group of people that knew about it, and it grew, and we educated ourselves more and more and more and more. And eventually we're able to beat it down. It stayed in just one school. They wanted it to go district wide. It stayed in just one school and only lasted a couple years there, and it went. So if you are in a group of people and you keep your message going and you do your research and you have your facts and you do things like what you're doing, Kiki, you actually can make a difference. Yep. But that fight it doesn't end. You have to keep on it. Yep. Just one more thing. Can you give everybody, again, I know this is the third time, but I want them to be able to find you. Can you let people know where to find you again?
Yes, it is Kiki Fuchser, and I am on, like he said, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitter, and YouTube. Kiki Fuchser, just my first and last name.
Again, that's KikiFuchser at any of those areas. Kiki, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure. I hope we can do it again in the future.
Absolutely. I'd love to follow up, especially once I have my campaign up and running.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you very much. By the way, stick around for a second because I want to talk to you. In the meantime, we'll catch you guys with the next interview. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know how you could. Take care, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the interview with Kiki Fuchser, a tremendous lady doing the best that she can to make a difference in not only her community, but ours, and trying to get truthful, factual information out in a way that I see very few people doing. So I hope you enjoyed that. Joining me now is my son, Damien Gabanyic. How are you, Damien?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm just wonderful. We're doing this for the second time now.
Yup.
Because like an earlier episode I did with Jeannie Fensel and Dina Weber, I didn't unmute the board. So we sat here and all you just see is a bunch of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your dad's a genius.
Of course.
So listen, I wanted to have you on just to talk about a few things, not long, right? We went out and voted yesterday.
Yes.
Early voted.
Mm-hmm.
And as many people know, this is the first time I ever early voted. First time you've early voted, and the first time you voted in a general election.
Yes.
You have voted before, but not in a general. You'll be 22 in February.
Yep.
So, like, I asked that like that
Yeah,
was a question.
You know that.
Right? Yeah.
I sure hope you know that.
So you'll be 22 in February. What did you think about early voting? Just curious.
Wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. I thought it'd be a little bit more questions, but no, you just kind of walk up, scan your ID, and get in
and go.
Yeah.
And to their credit, we did have our license looked at, and there was a system in place for the Summit County Board of Elections to make sure that everybody was there, had a legit ID identification, and that worked out. So, we voted early. I don't like doing that because I take a lot of pride doing it on election day. To me, it's a lot like the 4th of July or another national holiday with pride. It's just, I enjoy doing that, but my hand was forced, and there was a lot of good reasons for that. But we did it. We got it done. How'd you feel about your vote afterwards? Did you walk out feeling good? And just out of curiosity, did I ask you how you voted?
For the first thing, yeah, I mean, I felt pretty good. It was nice to get in. It was a lot less painless than I thought it'd be, so it was pretty quick. But for your second part, no, you haven't really influenced me when it comes to voting. With my political views, they're very self-influenced, so I kind of do my own research. Talk to friends about it, and we kind of wham bam about it a little bit, but for the most part you haven't taken a lot of influence in what I believe, which is good, because personally I like having my own choice in the matter, and being able to make my own opinions about these types of things.
That's something that I preached for a while, especially since I've been involved in a lot of the local political scene. I see a lot of these parents these days that are influencing their child on what to believe. And I don't think that, honestly, I think that verges on child abuse. The reason why when you were coming up through school and everything else that I didn't influence you politically is because I thought I was putting too much pressure on a child. You needed to learn to read, write, get history lessons, science, all this other stuff. You had so much that you had to deal with without having the weight of the national political scene on you at the same time. And that's what I tried to do. And honestly, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back here, but you and your sister, and really the other two, your older sister and your brother, they all seem to really come out all right, being able to think on their own. Really, the only thing I demanded of you as a kid and the rest of everybody else was just to respect others. Look at somebody when you're talking to them, give them a conversation. Don't look like a complete dolt staring at the ground while they're trying to have a conversation with you. How do you feel about that? How do you feel? Do you think that that was a good thing for me to do, or should I have put more political pressure on you growing up?
I mean, it was a good thing that you didn't really influence me all that much. It was nice being able to not worry about it while coming up in school. There was already a lot for me to think about. But I mean, just being able to form my own opinions and look at things in different ways instead of just bullhorn one way, just doing it how you would do it. It was nice having my own kind of path through my journey, I suppose.
Now, that's not to say that you didn't hear me screaming around the house.
Of
every once
course.
in a while. Yeah, you did hear conversations to me on the phone, talking to other people, but I didn't purposely put myself in front of you. I don't think.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. But you have ever since then. Again, you're going to be 22 here in February.
Yes.
And you, right out of high school, you got a job. You go to work. You do your thing. You make money. And you seem like a pretty happy dude right now, doing what you're doing, having the freedom to make your own choices. And I have to tell you, your choices so far have been pretty good. I'm proud of you. So, I mean, are you happy with the way that things are going, that you have this freedom to be able to express yourself instead of somebody putting pressure on you?
Yeah, just being able to have the freedom that I do to kind of just go around, do whatever, and kind of just express myself in my own ways. Pretty nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen parents where they kind of force their kid and have them view things their own way. Never really turns out good. Usually that person is very emotionally unstable. It's rough for them. But for me, I mean, I'm happy where I'm at currently, and just being able to, do what I do is nice.
Yeah, no, very good. Yeah, I couldn't be prouder of you. I couldn't be prouder of the rest of the kids. It's having your own path in life, and I think you guys are expressing that, and I feel good about my decision to not push politics on you because of that. And it's not because of, I honestly don't know all of your political views. We don't have those conversations, do we?
No.
And so, I don't about your two sisters or your brother either. Tyler, I do.
Yeah, Tyler, I'm sure, says a lot.
Yeah, Tyler will come out and he's very, very vocal about how he believes. So yeah, he's one, but the rest of you just kind of do your thing and you live your life, and you're all going to work. You're all making money. You don't make excuses, and I couldn't be prouder of all of you. That's flipping great. I will add that Damien also takes care of me quite a bit, because this mic here was not the mic that I had when I interviewed Kiki Fuchser. I had that mic over there. And Damien had actually bought me this mic right before the interview with Kiki, and he wanted me to try to set it up. I couldn't. I'm not, again, like what we talked about when we were on mute. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm the same way. Like with my dad, I taught him how to program the VCR, right? Mm-hmm. And I love using this example because it's true. It's Sylvester the cat's son. I feel that you look at me like my dad, or like I looked at my dad, and that's just being like, oh, father, right? Sometimes I embarrass you because of my idiocy. Yeah. So he bought me the mic. He bought me this camera that you're looking at up here, which is a high definition camera. And Christmas is right around the corner. So I feel that I am deserving of more things.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that went well. Very good. Well, guys, I appreciate all of you joining the show. I just wanted to have a quick short segment with Damien here because Damien again bought me the mic, and I started thinking, well, let's see, how he feels about things going on right now. Oh, by the way, the election, where do you think it's going to go? How do you feel about things coming up here?
Personally, I think it's going to go Donald Trump's way. From all the posts I've been seeing, the little bits of research I've done, I don't think Kamala is going to be I think she's going to come short of her expectations if she does get president. So just personally, Donald Trump is, I think, where it's going to go.
And do you think that Donald Trump's message, what he's conveying to the American people, because obviously you remember him as president.
Yes.
Yeah. You saw what he did, and you've obviously been alive the last almost 4 years now of Kamala Harris being vice president. Do you have enough information when you voted yesterday to be able to say, yeah, this worked out better than this?
Yes, I did. Through Donald Trump's entire 4 years, it felt like he did a lot more than Biden Harris. I mean, I don't even remember throughout the entire 4 years of Biden Harris. I haven't heard a thing Harris has done, but Biden's just lost on stage. So Trump, he's kind of there. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's very vocal about what he does. He's very transparent with us. So it'd be nice to see him come back.
I agree with that, and I didn't tell you to say that.
No.
Swear on the life of Damien's dog. Okay. All right, Damien, thank you for joining me. And again, for the rest of you guys, we'll catch you on the next show. Again, thank you for the continued support. And to find the Stowe Monroe Falls Voice, look for us on Facebook at SMF Voice. SMF Voice for everything, including Spotify and YouTube, which you're watching right now. And then email me for any questions, concerns, if you have an idea for a guest for the show, or if you want to be on the show yourself, smfvoice@twc.com. Until then, we'll talk to you later. Have a good week, kids.